Andrew's original giant sighting appears authentic based on technical analysis. His forced confession was clearly recorded under duress, and he vanished amid suspected government surveillance operations. In 2025, still no official explanation explains why Andrew Dawson disappeared. Only the unanswered questions remain, along with growing scientific interest in what he might have actually filmed on that mountain ridge. The giant theory in modern cryptid research. Scientific research into cryptid phenomena underwent dramatic transformation between 2022 and 2025, evolving from amateur investigations to sophisticated analysis using advanced technology. DNA sequencing capabilities improved significantly, allowing researchers to identify genetic material from environmental samples that would have been impossible to analyze during Andrew's investigation. Next-generation sequencing technology can now detect trace amounts of DNA from hair follicles, skin cells, and even saliva residue left on vegetation. Teams collected over 200 environmental samples from the Whistler area where Andrew filmed his footage, including soil specimens, vegetation samples, and water sources within a 5-mile radius of the sighting location. Laboratory analysis of these samples revealed genetic markers that don't match any known species in existing databases. 3 separate samples contain DNA sequences showing primate characteristics but with significant variations from human, chimpanzee, orangutan, or gorilla genetic patterns. The genetic material suggests a primate species with body mass indicators consistent with creatures weighing between 800 and 1,200 pounds. These findings represent the most compelling physical evidence collected from any cryptid sighting location to date. The expanded Giant and Sasquatch database now contains over 12,000 reported encounters from across North America, with 847 reports specifically from the British Columbia region where Andrew conducted his investigation. AI pattern recognition algorithms analyze these reports for consistent characteristics, geographical clustering, and temporal patterns. The analysis revealed that 73% of giant sightings occur in mountainous regions with specific geological characteristics including high magnetite concentrations and underground water systems. Whistler exhibits both of these environmental factors in concentrations that place it in the top 5% of locations associated with large humanoid sightings. Machine learning algorithms processing thousands of witness descriptions identified consistent physical characteristics reported across different locations and time periods. Witnesses described creatures standing between 9 and 15 feet tall, with shoulder widths averaging 4.5 feet and arm spans reaching up to 8 feet. The AI analysis eliminated reports showing inconsistencies suggesting hoaxes or misidentification, focusing on accounts with matching anatomical descriptions and behavioral patterns. Andrew's footage aligns with 94% of the verified characteristics in the database, including height estimates, body proportions, and upright bipedal stance. Archaeological discoveries in the region underwent re-evaluation using ground-penetrating radar and advanced excavation techniques. Researchers identified bone fragments in caves 40 miles northeast of Whistler that show characteristics inconsistent with known human populations. Carbon dating places the specimens between 800 and 1,200 years old, with size measurements suggesting individuals standing over 9 feet tall. These archaeological findings provide historical context suggesting large humanoids inhabited the region for centuries before modern sighting reports began. Environmental monitoring stations detected unusual electromagnetic signatures in areas with frequent giant sightings. The Whistler region shows electromagnetic field variations that occur in 72-hour cycles, with peak intensity periods correlating with 68% of reported sightings in the database. Scientists theorize these electromagnetic fluctuations might affect wildlife behavior or create conditions that make large creatures more likely to venture into areas visible to human observers. Modern research methodologies demonstrate how Andrew's amateur investigation missed critical evidence collection opportunities. Current protocols require multiple camera angles, thermal imaging equipment, audio recording devices, and immediate environmental sampling at sighting locations. Professional teams also use motion-activated trail cameras, electromagnetic field detectors, and infrared technology to gather comprehensive data. Andrew's single-angle phone recording and lack of follow-up sampling represent significant limitations compared to current investigation standards. However, his authentic emotional reaction and immediate documentation provide credibility that planned expeditions often lack. Indigenous knowledge from the Squamish Nation provides historical context that aligns with modern sighting reports. Traditional accounts describe large forest beings called Sasquatch that inhabit mountainous regions and emerge during specific seasonal periods. These traditional accounts describe creatures with physical characteristics matching contemporary giant sightings, including exceptional height, muscular build, and intelligent behavior patterns. Tribal elders report their ancestors avoided certain mountain areas during specific times of year due to Sasquatch presence, with these traditional avoidance zones corresponding to modern sighting hotspots. Climate change effects in the British Columbia mountain regions created environmental pressures that might explain increased cryptid encounters since 2020. Rising temperatures forced many large mammal species to seek higher altitude habitats, potentially bringing unknown creatures into contact with human activities more frequently. Deforestation and development reduced available wilderness areas, concentrating large creatures in smaller geographic regions where human encounters become more likely. Geological analysis revealed that the Whistler mountain system contains extensive cave networks and underground water systems that could support populations of large creatures without regular surface exposure. Ground-penetrating radar identified cavern systems extending hundreds of feet underground with chamber sizes large enough to accommodate creatures of significant size. These natural shelter systems connect across multiple mountain peaks through underground passages, providing potential habitat and travel routes that would minimize surface visibility and human contact opportunities. Current scientific consensus acknowledges that while definitive proof remains elusive, the accumulated evidence suggests something unusual exists in the Whistler region. The combination of consistent witness reports, physical evidence, archaeological discoveries, and environmental factors creates a compelling case for continued investigation. However, the impact of Andrew's case extends far beyond scientific research, fundamentally altering how online communities approach mysterious disappearances and the relationship between content creators and potential government surveillance. Impact on Internet mystery culture. Online mystery communities completely restructured their investigation methods after Andrew's case demonstrated the vulnerabilities facing content creators who document unexplained phenomena. His story became the template that other investigators reference when analyzing similar cases involving creators who vanish after posting sensitive material. The Andrew Dawson Research Collective formed 6 months after his disappearance, creating the first organized crowdsourced investigation specifically focused on missing conspiracy content creators. This community developed standardized investigation protocols including evidence preservation techniques, witness interview methods, and digital forensics procedures that law enforcement agencies now study and sometimes adopt for their own missing person cases. Copycat cases emerged with disturbing frequency after Andrew's story gained widespread attention. These cases follow Andrew's timeline so precisely that investigators suspect coordinated operations targeting viral conspiracy content creators. Other mystery investigators built entire content channels around Andrew's case, generating millions of views while expanding public awareness of similar disappearances. The YouTube channel Mystery Archives dedicated 17 episodes to analyzing every aspect of Andrew's footage, social media activity, and final communications. Creator Jessica Walsh gained 800,000 subscribers by documenting her investigation into government surveillance of conspiracy content creators, using Andrew's case as her primary example. New online communities emerged dedicated specifically to solving cases like Andrew's through collaborative investigation efforts. The Vanished Creators Forum maintains databases of missing content creators, timeline reconstructions, and evidence archives for over 200 cases. Reddit communities including Andrew Dawson Mystery and Missing Creators coordinate investigation efforts across thousands of users worldwide. These communities created crowdsourced investigation methodologies that successfully identified previously unknown witnesses, uncovered government document connections, and preserved evidence that official investigations missed or ignored. Law enforcement agencies now monitor these communities for leads and occasionally request assistance with cold cases. Content creator safety practices transformed dramatically following Andrew's disappearance. Creators posting sensitive material now use encrypted communication tools, secure evidence storage systems, and deadman switch protocols that automatically release information if they disappear. Many established safety networks with trusted contacts who monitor their posting schedules and investigate prolonged absences. Privacy protection became standard practice, including VPN usage, anonymous hosting services, and careful management of personal information disclosure. Some creators hired private security consultants or legal representation before posting potentially dangerous content. Andrew's case amplified discussions about government overreach and social media surveillance that continue influencing policy debates 3 years later. Privacy advocates reference his disappearance when arguing against expanded government monitoring powers and social media cooperation with intelligence agencies. Congressional hearings in 2024 specifically mentioned Andrew's case when examining the balance between national security and freedom of expression online. Civil liberties organizations use his story to demonstrate potential consequences of government surveillance programs targeting civilian content creators who document unexplained phenomena or criticize official narratives. The story evolved into urban legend status within internet culture, inspiring countless creative works including documentaries, podcasts, fictional narratives, and artistic interpretations. His case appears in university courses examining digital age mysteries and government transparency issues. Popular culture references include television episodes, streaming documentaries, and true crime podcasts that reach audiences far beyond the original conspiracy community. The phrase, "getting Andrew Dawson," entered internet slang describing content creators who disappear after posting controversial material. Law enforcement and missing person organizations adapted their approaches based on patterns identified in Andrew's case and similar disappearances. Police departments developed protocols for rapidly preserving social media evidence when content creators report harassment or threats. Missing person investigators now examine digital footprints more thoroughly and coordinate with federal agencies when cases involve potential government surveillance. Some departments created specialized units for investigating missing persons cases involving online content creators, recognizing the unique challenges these cases present.